Hi everyone, happy Friday. We've made it to the end of another working week. Well done for that. Your big reward today is an action-packed video. We've got loads to get through. We'll be talking about last night's game, going through some of the comments we got in on our live stream, some interesting talking points brought up in them. We'll then take a wee look at the UEFA Conference League, what could await Celtic in that competition. Maybe you'll find out something you didn't know about that tournament. Other things as well to chat about, including a really interesting Joe Hart interview. Before that though, a sad day today for Celtic. Celtic legend, Lisbon Lion, Bertie Auld laid to rest. The funeral service took place earlier today. It was streamed live by Celtic on YouTube. I don't know why I'm pointing over there. YouTube isn't over there. That just happens to be where I was watching it. And yeah, I just thought it was a perfect mix of a funeral and perfect for Bertie Auld. There was real emotional bits. Jim Craig got me. He always seems to get me the way he speaks, and when he broke down at the end, a difficult watch. I thought You'll Never Walk Alone right at the end played was just so fitting and such an incredible song that is emotional at the best of times, never mind the worst. Loads of funny bits as well though. I thought the tone was spot on there. Loads of funny stories about Bertie. Willie Hawkey I thought was absolutely excellent. He mentioned the Green Brigade's Hampden displays, which I thought was a really good move and was pretty well received, I would say, in the room, and certainly by people who weren't in the room. The Portuguese flags were incredible. The European Cup was sitting there as well. Portuguese flag, Jota must have felt right at home. Maybe that's just our ploy to get him to sign full time for us, but obviously they're relating to Lisbon, and I just thought wee touches like that were excellent. And then the reaction that the funeral cortege got as it passed Celtic Park, where thousands of people had gathered to say their final farewell to Bertie, was just as emotional as you would expect it to be. The funeral service itself was attended by Ange and his players. They had just, I'm assuming, got back from Germany pretty recently. Before that, former Celtic managers like Neil Lennon and Brendan Rodgers were there. Former Celtic players were there as well, and the hierarchy at the club, both past and present. So yeah, God bless you, Bertie. You'll never be forgotten, and yeah, you'll never walk alone. Right, we're going to chat about last night's game now. We did the live reaction last night, funnily enough, after the game with me and Stevie. And what usually works the following day is bringing up some comments that we got in on the live stream. It means that I'm not really repeating myself too much from last night's stream, and we can kind of delve into different areas that you guys and girls think are interesting. First comment I want to bring up is from Finn Fogel. He or she says 13 goals lost in 5 games, the worst in the entire competition. Even the team below Celtic haven't lost as many. Yeah, can't really argue with that. We do. I think last season in the Europa League we had one of the worst goals against records, and this season the same thing is going there. I don't think we're ever going to be a team that gets many clean sheets away from home in Europe under Ange, just because that's the way he plays. That's the payoff for having a go at teams, is that you're going to concede goals as well. Having said that though, we can definitely get better. Celtic can 100% improve. We can find a way to dig out results more. Now, this season, we've taken the lead in all of our away European games, and most notably in the ones against Midtjylland, Alkmaar, Betis and now Leverkusen. We've gone on to lose all of those games. So it's very clear what the issue is. Celtic need to find a way to see out games. And I thought there were some really interesting comments from Joe Hart in Germany after the game yesterday. I think he was speaking to Virgin, which incidentally is what someone labelled me as on the live stream last night, but we'll move on from that. Hart said it was really frustrating to fall at the last hurdle. He said there were loads of positives, but that Celtic need to be real. They're not there just to take part. He said there were probably only 10 minutes in the whole match when Celtic were second best, and quote, "Look what happened to us." Finally, and most tellingly for me, he said, quote, "No more nights like this." Which I took from that he doesn't want any more hard luck stories for Celtic in Europe. I thought it was brilliant to hear him saying that. I'm not surprised at all because Joe Hart is a winner. He's been a winner throughout his career and he's brought that to Celtic already. And I back him and the defence and Ange to get it right over time. I really do. I think they will learn from last night in Betis. You've got to remember it's their first European campaign together and we were up against, let's face it, a team that is better than Celtic. They play in a top European league. They're a much better team than Celtic. I think we can aspire to get to that level. We certainly attack at a similar level to Leverkusen, but the defending is what has let us down. And I back Joe Hart to get it right. So I thought those were really interesting comments. Next comment coming in from Luke, subscriber of the channel as well, so he obviously knows what he's talking about. At the end of the day, there is a significant gap in quality. They have some of the most promising talent in the world, the likes of Diaby, Wirtz and Tapsoba. So to push them at home, I think would be raising a few people's eyebrows in the football world. More reinforcements in January, and this could be a Champions League quality team in a year or two. In Ange, we trust. I should probably get that on a mug. Just the last 4 words, not the whole thing. It would have to be a big mug for that. That sums up how I feel. Look, last night was a real sore one to take. Gutted at full time. Really disappointed, but I think it's okay to have nights like that in your first season growing as a team as long as you learn from them. And it just goes back to what I said before. And the stuff about, I've heard a lot of people saying the Champions League isn't our level anymore. The Europa League isn't even our level. It's the Conference League now. I don't really understand chat about levels because Celtic are a Conference League team now. But in 8 or 9 months, I would say there's a fair chance Celtic could be playing Champions League group stage football. If you go back to Neil Lennon's first tenure as manager, 2011 we finished 3rd in the Europa League group stage like this season. The following year we go into the Champions League and we finish 2nd, beating Barcelona, beating Spartak Moscow home and away, getting to the last 16. That's how quickly things can change, and I would never write off how quickly teams can learn. And I get the impression that this Europa League campaign is quite similar to the one we had 10 years ago under Neil Lennon. We have been in every game, basically, even the 4-0 at home to Leverkusen. We had chances in that match, and we've just not got the rewards we've perhaps deserved. So I'm hoping that this Ange team will learn just as much as that Lennon team did a decade ago. And hopefully if we do get in the Champions League next year, we'll show that we're a Champions League standard team. So I think things change really quickly, and we've got to all remember that. Alistair Cassidy, goodness me, there is a lot of moany drivel in the comments tonight. You tell them, Alistair. We lost, it is tough. The progress from the first game against Leverkusen is staggering though. People moaning about Ralston after the season he has had is daft. Even comments calling Jota and Kyogo average is crazy. We lost a game we were always expected to lose, but we have progressed and we move on. If we continue to progress, then we could go back to being a really strong European team. We are at the start of the Ange rebuild and the signs are great. Alistair, you're welcome out for a pint with me anytime you want, because I agree that perspective is the key thing here. Yes, it's disappointing to only have 6 points from 5 Europa League games. And again, to have a lead last night going into the last 10 minutes and lose is gutting. Listen, I was gutted as well, but I think the overall picture, the growth in this team from when Ange took over to where they are now in 4 months, if that, is staggering. And if they keep going at that rate of growth, we will be winning games like last night in years to come. I firmly believe that. By the way, who the hell called Jota and Kyogo average? Because I would like to have a polite word with them. Right, the penultimate comment, that's second last by the way for you Rangers fans out there, is from Bandy Got Game. Lots of comments about subs. I think if Ange didn't sub when he did, Kyogo and Jota would be write-offs for the weekend. Just a shame we don't have proper depth just yet. The game definitely shows improvement and away from home too. It's all about maintaining that progression, which Ange and the team are doing. Bandy, if that's your real name, it'd be strange if it was, but yeah, you're also welcome out with me for a beer anytime you want. Stevie Boy finally took Jota, Forrest and Kyogo off too soon, then we just fell apart. The subs are just not good enough to be Celtic players. The team is certainly a lot weaker when those subs came on last night, but that's hardly a surprise. We knew that squad depth was going to be an issue, and finding a solution to that in January is definitely a priority for Ange. I think our first team is really good. We saw that last night. We went toe-to-toe with a really, really good European side in their own backyard, and we're winning for 82 minutes. I think we just need better options coming off the bench. But I've got no doubts and no worries that Ange will bring that in January. So it's just difficult right now because we lost last night, but that's just where Celtic are at the moment, and I think generally it's a positive picture. Now, Celtic will be one of 24 teams in the knockout round of the Conference League. As one of the Europa League dropouts, there's 8 of those, we will face one of the teams who finish second in their Conference League group. The first leg will be at Celtic Park on February the 17th, with the return leg a week later. The draw for this is on Monday the 13th of December, so just the Monday after the final round of group stage matches. Now, if we get past that first round, we then face one of the 8 group winners from the Conference League in the last 16. They get a bye through this first round, whereas we have to play it against the teams who finish second. Again, the first leg of that next tie would be at Celtic Park, with the return leg away from home. After that point, when you're into the quarterfinals, it's a free draw, meaning that we could face anyone, including any of the fellow Europa League dropouts. So we're actually shielded from playing another one of the Europa League dropouts until the quarterfinals, and chances are that they will be some of the strongest teams. So it's not actually as bad as it all seems. It's all two-legged, obviously, all the way until the final, which will be played at the Arena Kombitari in Albania on May the 25th. Not a huge stadium, but we do tend to have a bit of a celebrity fan in Albania, actually the country's president, so I'm sure he would just find a way to sort out every Celtic fan for that game. But the thing you really want to know, away from all that daft information, is what teams could we play? So let's take a look, first of all, at the knockout round. Now, this is the one Celtic will enter at. Maccabi Tel Aviv are the only confirmed potential opponents after 5 match days. Joining them will be either Partizan Belgrade, Anorthosis Famagusta, or Flora Tallinn. It is pretty likely to be Partizan Belgrade, either Bodo Glimt or Roma, Randers or Jablonec, Slavia Prague or Union Berlin, PAOK or Slovan Bratislava, probably looking at PAOK there, Spurs or Vitesse. There's actually a fair chance it could be Vitesse and Spurs could be out. And finally, Basel or Karabag. Those two have got basically a playoff in the final match day to decide who tops the group and who finishes second. But further to that, there are some other teams who have already confirmed their participation in the knockout rounds of the Conference League. These teams on this screen won't be potential opponents for Celtic until the last 16 or later, so they won't be in the first round. AZ Alkmaar, Copenhagen, Fenerbahce, Feyenoord, Ghent, Lask and Rennes. So some decent sides in there, no doubt in that at all. Not many at the standard of Bayer Leverkusen though. I think overall that this is a competition that Celtic could do some damage in. I think there are likely to be some very winnable ties in there, and I think as always, relying on the draw, hopefully we don't pull a Roma or a Spurs out in that opening round. And I definitely think this is a competition Celtic could go on a wee run in. Now, maybe I'm only talking quarterfinals or something like that, but even that I think would be exciting. I think there's a big gulf between the Europa League and the Conference League. There's a few pretty elite teams still in the Conference League, but I think generally there's a lot of teams that Celtic could get the better of. So let's be excited about it. Let's look forward to a new competition, and at least we've got it. At least we've guaranteed European football after Christmas, because that always makes the season a bit more exciting. Now, I know what you're thinking. We do have a big domestic game this weekend, Hamish. You've not even mentioned that. Yes, I know. I'm well aware of that. We're leaving it for tomorrow's video. We're going to turn the spotlight on the Aberdeen clash tomorrow. We are really trying to get to 22,000 subs by the end of this month. So please click that subscribe button if you're watching us and haven't yet done it. It really does make a difference to me and all of the other guys at 67 Hail Hail. So yeah, give that a go please. We would massively appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we're back tomorrow.